welcome back to my book channel. My name is Lady Lauren Explorer, and today is the final day of book recommendation week. And this week, this final day, day 7, I wanted to do fated lovers or characters that I know are like soulmates or your heartmate, because a soulmate is totally different than your heartmate. At least that's how I believe it. And like, look at my nails. Super cute. Love them. Anyways, just wanted to get it out there. But let's just jump into it. Also, if you wanted to see some of the other previous days and what recommendations I did, because I've done the books over 500 pages for Achillian in romances, Black Leads Part 1 and 2. Then I did omnibuses, which are a whole series or 3 or 4 books in a series in one book. Then just yesterday, I did the beautiful covers or sprayed edges that I enjoy recently. So just go back, look at those if you want. I post a video almost every single day. I will let you know that it's crunch time for me. I am in my final semester and I'm probably not going to be posting as frequently until I graduate. So I graduate May 14th, so thank you. And that's probably when I pick back up again, but I will be posting here or there, or I'll try to keep posting every single day, or every few days. But I will be back on a continuous schedule soon. So let me just get into this. Let me start with my first one because I think this one is really good because it's a retelling story of Tristan and Isidole, the fated lovers, where she's a princess and he's a knight, and they have an illicit romance because he's a knight and she's a princess. But this one is the series. But we're going to focus on book 1, which is The Raven and the Dove by Caitlin Davis. And I think everyone who has ever read this book got into this book because of the covers. This is a very beautiful cover. And this is a fantasy retelling. So there are floating cities, things that are hidden in the mist of the cities down below, dragons. This is a very magical kingdom. And even though this story, the first book focuses not mainly on the main characters who are Wraith, and Lyanna. Yes, Lyanna. But also their other side characters. And also, I will say that the pacing is kind of weird in places, and it may seem like the characters aren't as fleshed out or the plot isn't as fleshed out as it should be, but this is a first book and it does leave you on a huge cliffhanger. So I would, if you want, I would just buy both 1 and 2 so you can get the cliffhanger out the way and then go straight into the hunter and the mage. So yes, but all of these, I should put these in my beautiful covers, but look at that. That is just so beautiful. And then this one, just, And then in the last one right here, I'm going to complete the series one day, but I'm glad I got all 3 for a really reasonable price. last year, so I like this, and these are totally fated lovers because they go through a lot and I love them to death. Again, this is a retelling. So my next one is a Achillian one, and this is also a series, but let me just talk about it. So this is the Something Like series, and the Something Like series follows a main couple and a side couple who is a part of the main couple. And I'll tell you about that in a minute. But the first 3 books in the series are following the main 3 people in this book. So each book is told from the point of view of the character in this triangle, sort of. But it's something like summer, then it's something like autumn, and then something like winter. So in Something Like Summer, we're following Ben, and Ben is this is Southern Texas. Woo woo. Anyways, Ben is a 17 or 18-year-old who is in his last year of high school, and a new guy, well, also Ben's gay, and a new guy shows up for that school year, and Ben has been like stalking him. And his name is Tim. Tim runs on this trail a lot, and so Ben found out about it, and he also runs on the trail with Tim, and they have a flirtatious kind of thing, even though Tim isn't known for being gay. He has a girlfriend, he's a jock, very popular, and Ben is not. Also, he's been being bullied because he is gay. But what we find out is the reason why Tim moved in his book is because of a situation that happened in his previous school with his sexuality. So he just wanted to start over and be normal for his parents. But this is their love story that is very, very messy. It's completely messy. Super, super messy. So this actually goes from the time they meet until, like, I think over a decade or 2. There's very big angst and character depth in here. It will make I cried. It will make you cry if you are a crier. I cried when things happened. I don't want to give too much away. I actually did read most of the series and have like videos on them, but there is a breakup where Ben gets into another relationship with someone who actually appreciates him. Then things happen, and then Tim comes back into Ben's life. Some things happen, and it's, again, this is spread over, I think, a decade. And each book follows the first 3 books follow each character because it's their story. So you'll find out when Ben meets his next boyfriend, there is some like backstory for him and his relationship with a previous person and what all happened there and his time with Ben. Then in Tim's story, it goes to what happened to him in his previous school, then gets to him and Ben's situation and what happened in between the time that we're spending with Ben, wow, and his other lover. It's crazy, messy, and I loved every single thing. And I think the series is 12 books long, but some of the like stories are short stories, and other stories are actually other characters who intermingle with our main characters, Ben and Tim. But if you do want to read it, how you're supposed to read it is Something Like Summer, Something Like Autumn, and Something Like Winter. I have all of them. Then you can read Something Like Forever, which is the later years of Ben and Tim. And it's sad too, angsty, but it's so, the love. Like, Ben and Tim are fated to be together. So yes, I thoroughly enjoyed this, and I think you will too. The next one is The Mighty Storm by Samantha Toll. And this one is a Rockstar romance and a second chance. Well, technically it's not even a second chance because they're childhood friends who had a crush on each other, but the other didn't know. And they get separated when they are in their teens, or like on the cusp of teens, like the preteens. He becomes a rock star, she becomes a journalist, and she has to interview him. They rekindle their friendship. He wants a whole bunch more, and she is finding him to be irresistible. It's not a relationship. The only thing is she's already in a relationship, so there is cheating in her. But I love them together. I think they are fated for each other. It's beautiful. If you don't like cheating, then I don't think this is the book for you. But if you can just get past it and understand their chemistry is so good together. This is a series, so it will follow other members in the band. But the first two books are following the same couple, and it's Jake and True. Yeah. So there is drug abuse in here. There is cheating. It's steamy. So yes. And then I actually have Weathering the Storm, which is the second book. And this is following the same couple. So they are in their relationship and starting their future together, and things happen. So, but this one is great. If you can get past cheating, just please read it. It's so good. And I think this is over 500 pages. Yeah, this is over 500 pages. So you will, it's so good. So good. Then I have one of my like all-time favorite right now, top tier books. It's Achillian, and it's Pretty Obsessed by J.R. Gray, and they deserve each other. They are soulmates. This is so good. Like, oh my gosh, I've tapped this up completely. This is a great book. So this is another famous Rockstar romance. We are following River and Emery, and River is the drummer, I think, of the band. He is having, since he became famous, he is missing the intimate touch of a person because he's so famous. He is bi. And Emery is a YA writer, and they meet in a sex club because Emery has found out that he's having writer's block, and the only way he can get out his writer's block is to be at a sex club and just write. So they meet there while River is getting a BJ, and instant connection. And it becomes obsession for River because some things happen within the first meet that gets like misconstrued, but gets solved later on, like not even like a couple of days later. but it's their time together, and it's also like, it's not miscommunication, but it's a not talking about what they are together. I don't know what that trope is, but it's just not miscommunication though. It's not putting a label on their relationship when they should have talked about it, because a lot of things could have been resolved if they just talked about it. But it's okay. This is so good and steamy. You guys will love this. Love it. And then I also have the second book, which is pretty toxic, which is a enemies to lovers, and it also a bi awakening. It's just so much in here. So much in here. Love it. I don't have so many, but I just had to talk about this. So this is one of the books that I've had on my like Amazon wish list for years. Probably since 2015, but it's Thunder in Her Body by C.B. Santon. It's over 500 pages. I didn't know what to expect from this. The synopsis wasn't like giving it to me, but I still bought it because I knew that like if it was on my wish list, there's a reason why I wanted it. This is a interracial story between a mature Black woman and also a mature Native American man who been through a lot in their lives, and finally they meet and just have this connection, this spiritual connection that they just know they're meant to be together. Somehow, some way, they are just meant to be together. And let me see. Lynette and Blaze, yes. So this is their love story. It's also very, like, not very angsty, but has some angst in it. I cried several times reading this. This is one of my top favorites for the year 2020. Not 2020, 2021, because that's when I read it. But this was so good, and I'm so glad that I bought this. And my roommate made me read it for a TBR, the monthly TBR. And yeah, I underrated this, and it was really, really good, really good. Then, last but not least, is another one that's a top tier 5-star, like pretty obsessed with my 5-star. Thunder in Her Body is my 5-star. Katie Moore's Youre My Home is a great 5-star. This is an Achillian romance between childhood friends. Love it. Love it. And this was so cute, fluffy. There's some angst in here too. This is between Zach and Brady. This has a trope that I didn't really know I liked, even though I like it in my fan fiction, which is size difference. So Zach is very petite, very tiny, and Brady is very broody and very tall, masculine. They're just so good together. They're just so good together. But so something happens to them where they become friends and bond over something because Zach has run away for a little bit. They become instant friends. Zach is from a very religious household who, I'm not saying they're poor, but they are in the poverty area. And Brady is from a very wealthy family. They happen to meet in the forest. when they're like in their like youth. Not even like, I don't even think it's like 2 digits yet, maybe. But anyways, so they become childhood friends. Then something happened to Zach and his family where Brady's family has to take Zach in, and they live with each other, but they're not considered brothers. This is so emotional. This is so emotional because as you grow with them, we all know that Zach is gay, especially in the first couple of pages of the book. You see he's getting in trouble for having a book about homosexuality. And there is this underlining abuse going on in his family because of that. But he blossoms into a very beautiful boy who is all about his own self, his self-worth. It's so beautiful. And you see Brady start to realize that he has feelings for Zach over it. It takes a minute. It takes a minute. But he starts feeling that his feelings for Zach aren't what he is used to or what he thought they were. And things happen. It's a lot. I felt for Zach plenty of times, but Brady finally got the hint and they get together, and it's just so good. Really good. I love this book. This book was great. I cried. It was so good. I think you guys will enjoy this because, again, this is so good. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is like, I love it. I love giving you, like, this was one of my most favorite videos because I can talk about like the books I know you might like. I hope I gave you great recommendations. I hope you found books that you haven't heard of before, or have heard and you're just like on the cusp of wanting to read it. Telling you should read it. And hope you guys have a wonderful day. My name is Lady Lauren Explorer. I post a video almost every single day. I hope to see you guys in my next video, and bye!